Hello everyone, my name is Pixie People, and today we're going to talk about what if Deku had a fire quirk. And I think I'm going to do pretty well with this. This story is about people evolving their quirks past what they perceived was possible. Okay. He, we start our story when Deku was born. As he was born, everyone saw that he had a bit of a, just, just slight, warmth to him. Like when you're relaxing with a child, but then you see this child is pretty warm, but I guess it doesn't burn my hand. No, this burned their hands. They had to save Deku with a pillow without getting brain damage for him. And now Deku is a boiling baby. As, no, then we skipped 5 years later. 5 years later. Shush your butts. 5 years. Was it 5 years? Yeah, 5 years later. When Deku is going to the quirk doctor. You wondering why I didn't check it yet? It's policy, you can't check it right when the kid was born. For that hospital, not anyone else's. And so, afterwards, after they got to the place, they talked to the doctor. It's not Ujiko this time. It's just a random doctor. So his quirk is the ability to manipulate fire, and he even got a bonus ability where he could breathe it out of his mouth. So technically he just has an infinite supply of ammo. So Deku doesn't really know how to use it yet, so then he burps and then fire comes out of his mouth, but then he doesn't even force this out. He just he puts and then he puts it to his hand, and then it just immediately dissipates. Okay. Bonk. So Deku, after a couple, well, obviously no bullying because Deku's quirk is probably on par with Bakugo's in the future, but not right now. But everyone knows that this quirk is gonna be too strong in the future. And then Deku appears. Well, I guess we skip to, I guess, shit, I don't know math. Mm, mm, 9 years later, Deku is just sitting at his desk, working on an assignment he's due. He's just started doing it. It's not like it's late or missing. He's big brain up there right now. He's pretty not a cocky guy, but like if you were being cocky, he'd then show you who's boss and then destroy you and then substantially get cocky back at you. That look at you, this cocky bastard, and now you've been killed by this weakling you perceived like that. So Deku already hears like, you all want to be heroes. Deku still wants to be a hero, of course, because that's just the nice way to be, you know. Then it appears Deku is thinking about how he could pass the test to get into UA. Of course, he still wants to be in UA. Bakugo has no quarrels with him. He's still an absolute asshole. Don't get me wrong. never mistake this guy for a good guy. He's pretty annoying. Now, don't worry, he gets better in the future, I promise. Deku appears in front of Baku after all this trash talking and calms him down by putting his hand on his shoulder and burning him. I'm kidding. He puts his hand on his chest. Not in a sus way. Don't worry. He's not sus. He could be. I'm kidding. Deku is puts his hand on his chest and tells him to calm down. Baku, of course, respecting Deku's opinion since he's the only respectful person here. The only person to respect here. Likes to respect here, so he respects him with the problem. And so Deku just leaves afterwards. And then Slime Villain absolutely annihilated. Deku just cartoon and obliterates him like to ash. And then he dies. And then well, after the Slime Villain is dead, Deku already left before All Might appeared. So I don't want to give Deku one for all here. I'll just give it to Mirio, because that's a nice way to do stuff. Deku just completely and utterly annihilates the slime villain and leaves. You know what I mean? They start just jogging. Jog, punch him in the face. I'm kidding. And then Deku gets home and tells his mom about the day. And then Deku then leaves to go train for the 10-month training arc. He does go to the gym, gets a membership, and then boxes. Also learns a couple fluid fighting styles. Like maybe like Kung Fu and anything that can really parry a person or inflict like unlethal damage. You know, you don't want to he doesn't want to hurt the person. He just wants to knock him out. Obviously, he does go to a secluded area, which is probably like a junkyard or something, where he practices these moves with his flame ability. He probably uses like his cool abilities to make like fire shields, like fire blades, or fire guns, like uh, flash fire fist ace. Is that his name? Yeah, he just shoots them like bullets. But non-lethal bullets, where if they hit the person, they're not hitting lethal parts. Whoops. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I was listening to something. And then Deku just punches. And he punches him in the face. Okay. Deku, chilling. After working out for the entire week. Well, 10 months, of course. That's almost an entire year. Deku is way too... Now he's big and swole. Don't shut up, by the way. It's disgusting. Deku picks him up. Deku just jogs to the UA place. So he can feel so he can get those calves in, boys. And Deku just walks in. Deku stomps on the pebble, and then walks in. Little known a past life, not past life, but in a different dimension. He was a bit of a bitch and fell over that. Jaw drop kick. Picks him up. Minka. So we already get to the test. Deku, of course, gets a B plus, which is a passing one. And then Deku afterwards. Flash fire fist. Oops. And Deku. After the portions were done, he wasn't really mumbling or anything. And my boy is good, and he's Gucci, and he's fine. And then he punt, kick, drop kick, no, suplex, I'm kidding. And then and Deku, in the midst of the battle, he pulls out his technique. Okay, alright, then he puts his fingers to his mouth, breathes on it, and make a giant ball of fire, and shoots it like Gojo with his purple ball, but just imagine it with the red ball. He shoots it and obliterates the door. It turns into ash, and then Deku, his feet are on fire, and then he shoots himself forward. He can't fly, but he sure as heck can zoom. Deku then forms a sword, and then cuts through the first one. Then another one. Then another one. Then he does a twirl attack that makes a tornado, and then grabs like all the robots, not all of them, but like some of them, and then just obliterates them with his blades. And Deku leans his feet forward, and then punches through a 1-pointer. A 3-pointer, I mean. And then he screamed, and then lost his flame abilities for a bit because he's overheated himself. He's like Endeavor, but like stronger, because he can actually make more stuff to boost him. Deku pulls. He needs to relax for a bit while people are struggling to get more robots because Deku just annihilated a lot. I will say he's already able to be joined into UA because everyone's just impressed on his fit. What was I saying? To vigilante? He was chilling. Vigiling? Vigiling? Oh. Velocity of his D-ub. Sorry, I could not get the word out. And the Deku has continued to slice through people. Deku just pulls out a... Deku, and they grab Deku's... Then Deku just grabs a form of fire. And then a spear. Spear. He makes a spear. Like, it looks more like a spear. And he chucks it. And then he blows 0-pointer's head clean off. And then Deku shoots his feet forward and starts annihilating more robots. His body's finally cooled down. Now he's back to business. And then he hits him with the cool transition of Deku shooting forward and then him shooting through a guy, but then that transfers to us going to Bakugou blowing up a one-pointer. And then it's Bakugou just annihilating stuff, and then it just keeps transferring to Deku to Bakugou, annihilating robots. And then, of course, Deku just calms down afterwards because of his overheating of his body. Then he hears the thumpitiest of thumping ever. He looks up. He looks up to see a giant zero-pointer. He gets really exhausted, but then when he sees there is a person there about to get annihilated, he pushes through his pain, his sweat boiling off him smoking like Gear Second, and then he grows wings with a flame, and then he flies towards the zero-pointer, propelling himself. He propelled himself with his flames, and then shot himself towards the zero-pointer. Then he makes a meteorite out of his body, and then just shoots straight through the zero-pointer. And the zero-pointer head just starts melting because of all the heat of it, and then he falls. Backwards, of course. And then Deku flies back to the person, looking like a goddamn angel. Then picking up, Ochako, as known as Ochako. And, yeah, Deku then picks up her and takes her to the recovery girl. So, as you already know, Deku already got in, he's going to class now. And, what's next? Oh yeah, the thingy. Okay, Deku goes up first, because obviously he got first, there's no way he didn't. And then Deku kills him. He grabs the ball, then makes a spear with the ball. Pew! And then Deku makes a ball out of it. He breathes on his finger and then makes an orb again. And shoots it. And he keeps shooting forward. He makes the thing go farther. And he just keeps throwing spears until it keeps moving forward. Until the pressure of the air and then the fire disintegrated because it's out of Deku's range and of all the wind that's appearing. And then the ball keeps going forward, and then it travels into water in the Pacific Ocean. I'm thinking that's a very far distance. So Aizawa shows it, super long, and then Aizawa to move. People didn't even say that this looks fun. They're just dumbfounded how far he threw that. So luckily, we never get that eluding of and, of course, Deku sees Todoroki and sees that he probably has a fire quirk. If you're wondering how he knows this, bro legit has red hair. How the frick does he not have a fire quirk? Deku makes a big. Come here. Punch. Yes. Like you, Deku makes 2 fireballs, puts him under his feet, and then shoots him forward, so the same thing, he's good. And then he just kept... And he just kept getting first place in all of them. Except Baku with I'm gonna say the grip strength. Baku has been apparently way too strong for Deku for a long time. And he gets first. You think it Shoji got it? Nah, my boy Bakugo got it. He's seen that Deku's gotten way stronger, so he trained way harder than he has ever done. So now our Bakugo is even stronger than the original. He's basically season 5 level strong now. He's really strong now. I'm kidding. No, he is that strong. I'm making everyone here super strong. In the future, Todoroki will get a power boost, and it will look super cool. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the fights, you know. Because it doesn't really matter what happens. Picks him up, snap. Picks him up, snap. Okay. Kick leg, punch. I'm kidding. So, in the end, Deku makes 2 friends. Kirishima, and, you know, just to be nice for my boy, he also makes friends with, Shiyu Asui. Yeah, those 2 are friends. So is Ochako, and not Ida. Ida doesn't really like Deku. Because he annihilated school poverty. Deku picks up. Face. Yit. Stab. Punch in the face. In the face. Jaw. No jaw. Yit. So now it's the UA people fighting. And then Deku's... Okay, so Deku's drip in the, thing. And then Deku... All Might appears in the... As a normal person opening through the halls. And then he steps through. Then he talks about how the heroes make... The costume makes the heroes. So Deku already commissioned his outfit, and now his outfit is gloves that look a suit that makes him look like his arms look like flames. So his boots are on flames. And then he puts on a boot. He puts a boot on red boots, 2 red boots, and 2 brass knuckle gloves. And he also has this white and green outfit. And he also has fake teeth, like so he looks more like a devil. He takes these little things. You know, none of mine. Then Deku grabs some goggles out of his case and puts them on. And then Deku concentrates really hard. And all the tips of his hair are on fire. So, for aesthetic feeling, you know? Then they kill. And then it's randomly shaken. And coolly, a new change to the script. It is Bakugo and Kirishima that have to fight Deku, and I think Deku could work with this. And then he also gets I'm gonna Shoto. I can't believe I forgot this guy's name. He's the guy with the multiple arms. The guy with like the multiple teeth and stuff. Deku uses this to his advantage by asking him to make all his arms ears. So he does that. And then he thinks, and then tells Deku that it's on the top floor. Because Bakugo ran through the halls with freaking explosions. So Deku then makes a fire platform, grabs a sheet of metal, and then places it on the platform to make a nice place to stand. So he puts Shiro on there, pushes him up, and then makes him fight Kirishima. And now we're gonna do even cooler things. Okay, so we're gonna ignore that fight for now. So Deku then jogs to Bakugo, and then Deku punch. It's just all of them punching back to each other. Deku powers up and then shoots himself towards Bakugo, while Bakugo shoots himself towards Deku. It's an even fight, definitely even. And Deku just keeps attacking back. He stands back, makes a giant explosion, but then covers those with some fire bullets. Baku already exploded the original, but now he has to keep dodging the fire bullets. Baku explodes towards Deku, basically annihilating the hallway in the process. And then it ends with Deku making a fire shield and blocking Bakugo's explosion. And it's just super even, it's really cool. And then I kind of just wanted to do this for dramatic effect, but Baku then charges his cannon, grabs and then makes it explode. So now his gauntlet has shot a giant explosion towards it. It's even bigger than last time, bro. It's like, it's already annihilated the hallway, and it's already, like, breaking through at the top floor, which somehow actually helps the villain team, because right as, your boy Discount Forearms appears, he gets shot back from the explosion towards Kirishima, which Kirishima also wasn't expecting this. He wasn't hardened or anything, so he just got punched back. So then now it's Kirishima versus Many Arm Guy. Just keeps punching and punching, and then they start chucking hands. Deku, his quirk is a bit strong for the pack that he makes the explosion into like a ball of flames. It's so contained that it's making his arms like snap. Like his body's like definitely trying to expand the explosion. So Deku squeezes into his palm and then throws it at Baku. Hit him with the Bardock dramatic finish on Frieza, makes him explode. Doesn't kill him, but sure sex knocks him out. Deku is hyped because he finally beat Bakugo in a fair fight. Deku gets up, shoots and makes his fire wings, flies up into the top floor, and sees Kirishima and the discount forearms throwing hands. Deku, instead of touching the bomb, he just remembers how much time they have left. A lot of time, actually. So he stops using his flames and sees the fight. So the fight starts in Deku's point of view. It starts. he he yells loudly. They both yell loudly with very excited things, and they just start trading blows more. Since he the bigger guy, he got like second place to Bakugo. He definitely has way more power into his punches, and he just keeps punching, and then just pop, and then in the coolest way possible, Kirishima's defense pops back, like he's getting weaker. His shield, his quote unquote shield, is starting to push him back. And then Deku then sees four discount forearms knocked Kirishima directly out. With a minute on the clock, Deku shoots himself towards the bomb and then touches it. And that's the end of it. And that is the end. And that is the end of it. That is the end of the fighting, because I'm not going to cover all of them. But I will point out that Deku did see Shoto chilling. Deku then thinks it's kind of impressive how he didn't even look and still got the ice to them. And then that is it. I hope y'all liked the video, and this is part 1 of What If Deku had a fire quirk.